Hello there, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada, on the 1st of December 2025. This morning, we are going to meditate from Psalms 8 and verse 5. Psalms 8 and verse 5. For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. A focal point for today's meditation is the redemptive work of Jesus Christ. In this verse, King David reflects on God's creation of man. He views man as having been created a little lower than the heavenly beings, the angels. Hebrews 2 and verse 9 and Psalms 8 and verse 5 applies to Jesus Christ. Although he created the heavenly beings, Jesus Christ chose to become a man in order to die in the place of sinful man. None of the angels could serve as our substitute and die in our place. Angels do not experience humanity, but Jesus Christ did. Angels are not human, but Jesus Christ lived as a man. Only by becoming human could he serve as a sacrifice for humanity. We read that in Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 11. By willingly terminating his life on the cross of Calvary, Jesus paid the penalty for the sins of all who put their faith in him, past, present, and future. On the cross, Jesus cried out, "It is finished." We read that in John chapter 19 and verse 30. The theological scholars says, it stands finished or it is paid. Jesus' substitutionary death was sufficient payment for all time for the sins of humanity. Our salvation could not be purchased for anything less than Jesus' blood, and nothing more than his blood is required. And you know what? Not only is man naturally or intrinsically distinct from the rest of creation, but he has been given authority over the earth and everything upon it. Mankind was made to govern creation. And this verse is an exposition on the special exalted place of humanity in God's creation, stating that people are made a little lower than the heavenly beings, but crowned with glory and honor. The verse is interpreted in many ways, first as a reflection of humanity's created state as made in God's image and given dominion over the earth, contrasting with the greater glory of angels. And secondly, it is seen as a prophecy fulfilled in Jesus Christ, who temporarily became a little lower than the angels through his humanity to offer salvation, and was then crowned with glory and honor as a result of his victory over sin and death. The New Testament book of Hebrews applies Psalms 8 and verse 5 to Jesus, noting that he was made a little lower than the angels by taking on a human body. This was a voluntary act, making it possible for him to die as a substitute for humanity's sin. Because of his suffering and death, Jesus Christ was crowned with glory and honor, a victory over sin and death. And you know what? This fulfills the prophecy by showing how the glory of God is displayed in both creation and through the redemptive work of Christ Jesus. So, as believers, let us focus on the redemptive work of Christ Jesus on the cross of Calvary, because it was happened for you and me. So let us give honor and glory and praise and worship to this great God, and let us bow before the throne of grace and worship him. Have a very blessed day, and God be with you.